Okay, episode 4. So we have another data structure, something called a vector. Vectors in Clojure as array-like structures. I imagine say Clojure. Clojure sounds better. I'm going to call it Clojure from now on until anyone corrects me. So that's going to return 1 because there's one element in it, I suppose. Is it happy with that? Yes, it is. You can create a vector from a list. Okay, well, we've just seen the vector syntax. I imagine that's that here. Or from sub-elements, yeah. There are 2 elements in this list. They happen to be nil, but they are both elements in a list. So imagine that's correct. But you can populate with any number of elements at once. Okay. That's interesting. So it flattens. If that's correct. Yes, that's correct. So it flattens. On the one hand, you can give it individual arguments like this, and it'll make a vector. No, there are 2 different words. There's a vector word and there's a vec word. Okay, so vector makes a vector from the other arguments given to the expression, and vec makes a vector out of a list, I imagine. So if I did that, it should complain. Yes, it does. It complains. That's good. And if I do that, it should complain. Yes, it does. Good. Okay, so that's the difference between vector and vec. Conjoin into a vector is different than to a list. A conj we had for a list, where it added the element to the start of the list. I imagine this means that it adds it to the end of the list. At the end of the vector, sorry. Yes, it does. Okay, so a vector is a different data structure. You can get the first element of a vector like so. Okay, there's a first and last, rather than, what was it called with a list? It was there's a rest, there's a cons, what was the first? There's a peak. First and rest, what it was called. So there's a first here as well. It works on a vector and a list. So the first here is just peanut. Okay, and the last, there's it just like in a list. Well, end of list, end of last for a list, of course. It would be very expensive O for n, O of n to traverse the list. Any index if you wish. Third element is going to be jelly. Okay, probably not the best example, but whatever. It is the same answer as this one here. You can slice it. Oh, subvec, interesting. Now, what does this do? I imagine it's going to be butter and. I'll check that. I imagine that's how it works. Yes, it is. Good. Equality of collections is in terms of values. Collections. So there are lots of different collection types. Okay. So this is going to just be a 3, and yes, that works. We're on to episode 5.